Have you ever checked your pocket change for hidden treasures? It's not just a coin collector's fantasy. Sometimes extraordinary value hides in plain sight. Today, we're exploring three modern American dimes that command shocking premiums over their face value. While most people wouldn't look twice at these seemingly ordinary coins, knowing what I'm about to share could quite literally be worth thousands of dollars to you. The 1994, 2003, and 2007 Roosevelt dimes might look unremarkable at first glance, but specific varieties of these coins are actively being hunted by collectors willing to pay life-changing sums. So before you spend that dime on your next purchase, you might want to take a closer look. Let's begin with the 1994 Roosevelt dime, a coin that perfectly illustrates how even the smallest minting errors can create enormous collector value. The United States Mint produces billions of coins annually across its facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, and West Point. In 1994, something extraordinary happened during production at the Philadelphia Mint. A small batch of Roosevelt dimes was struck without the usual mint mark, the tiny letter that indicates where a coin was produced. On modern dimes, you typically find this mark just above the date on the obverse, or head side of the coin. What makes this error particularly fascinating is its timing. You see, prior to 1980, Philadelphia minted coins didn't carry mint marks at all. It was the default location, so to speak. But from 1980 onward, the Philadelphia Mint began adding the P mark to nearly all denominations. The 1994 dimes without mint marks represent a curious regression to an abandoned practice, making them immediately identifiable to knowledgeable collectors. The discovery of these no-mint mark specimens sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. Experts believe that during production, a die, the metallic mold used to strike the design onto blank coins, was either improperly prepared or a worker mistakenly installed an outdated die. Whatever the cause, the result was a small number of dimes that deviated from standard specifications in a subtle yet significant way. How rare are these coins? Current estimates suggest fewer than 10,000 exist, a tiny fraction when you consider the Philadelphia Mint produced over 1.2 billion dimes that year. Each passing year potentially reduces this population further as unsuspecting individuals spend these valuable coins or they become lost or damaged. When examining a potential 1994 no-mint mark dime, look carefully at the area directly above the date. A regular 1994 Philadelphia dime will clearly show a P, while the valuable error coin will have a smooth field with no mint mark whatsoever. The distinction is subtle. There's no dramatic double die or striking error, just the absence of a single letter that transforms a 10-cent coin into a collector's prize. The coin's initial discovery sparked considerable interest, but its true value has appreciated steadily over decades. Today, even in circulated condition, these dimes typically command $50 to $150, depending on where. But the real premium lies in uncirculated specimens. Coins graded MS 63 on the standard 70-point Sheldon scale regularly fetch $300 to $400, while pristine examples in MS 67 or better can bring $2,000 to $3,500 at auction. In 2019, a particularly exceptional specimen graded MS 68 by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, sold for an astonishing $7,200 at a Heritage Auctions event. That's 72,000 times its face value. The buyer, a prominent error coin collector from Texas, later commented that he considered it the centerpiece of his modern error collection. What makes these coins particularly intriguing is their deceptive ordinariness. Unlike many valuable coins that feature obvious mistakes like double strikes or off-center impressions, the 1994 no-mint mark dime looks completely normal to casual observers. You could handle one daily and never notice its significance without knowing precisely what to look for. This characteristic has created fascinating stories of discovery. In 2011, a Maryland schoolteacher who casually collected coins found one while sorting through a roll of dimes purchased from her local bank. Initially thinking it might be counterfeit due to the missing mint mark, she brought it to a local coin dealer who identified it as the valuable error. Her 10-cent investment yielded a $275 return when she decided to sell. Another collector reports finding 3 specimens over a decade of searching through circulation, roughly one every 15,000 dimes examined. His patience netted him nearly $1,000 for coins that most people would have spent without a second thought. The condition of these error dimes dramatically impacts their value, as with most collectible coins. Circulation where first affects the highest points of the design. Roosevelt's hair and the torch on the reverse. Rim nicks and excessive scratches can substantially reduce value. However, unlike some collector coins where even minor wear decimates value, these error dimes maintain significant premiums even in average circulated condition. What I find particularly fascinating about the 1994 no-mint mark dime is how it represents a perfect intersection of rarity, historical significance, and attainability. Unlike ancient coins or pattern pieces that might never be encountered outside museum collections or high-end auctions, these error dimes continue to circulate, offering the genuine possibility of a valuable discovery in everyday transactions. The coin also tells a compelling story about quality control at the United States Mint. Despite sophisticated machinery and multi-layered inspection processes, human errors occasionally create these numismatic treasures. Each error coin represents a moment when the system designed to ensure consistency temporarily failed. Interestingly, the U.S. Mint has never officially acknowledged this error, maintaining its standard position that it does not comment on production anomalies that may create collector premiums. This institutional silence only adds to the coin's mystique. For collectors, the 1994 no-mint mark dime represents an accessible entry point into serious numismatics. Unlike high-end coins requiring five-figure investments, these can be actively hunted through circulation or purchased for reasonable sums, offering both the thrill of the chase and legitimate investment potential. Some collectors have assembled complete sets of these dimes in various grades, creating specialized collections that document the full range of die states and wear patterns. Others incorporate them into broader collections of modern mint errors or Roosevelt dime varieties. When verifying authenticity, experts caution against confusing these genuine errors with coins that have had their mint marks removed after production, a practice considered alteration rather than error. The absence of tooling marks around the date area is critical for authentication, as is the overall strike quality consistent with official mint products. For those interested in finding these treasures, coin roll hunting remains the most accessible approach. Banks will exchange currency for rolls of coins, allowing systematic searches without premium costs. Digital microscopes or quality magnifying glasses help identify the subtle diagnostic features that separate valuable specimens from ordinary dimes. So next time you receive change or find a jar of accumulated coins, take a moment to check those 1994 dimes. That quick glance might reveal an overlooked treasure, a dime that's worth not just 10 cents, but potentially hundreds or even thousands of dollars. In our next segment, we'll explore another modern dime with an equally compelling story and substantial collector premium. Now, let's shift our attention to the 2007 Roosevelt dime, a coin that showcases how even modern minting processes can create extraordinary rarities. Unlike the 1994 no-mint mark dime we just discussed, the 2007 specimen, we're focusing on features in error that's immediately visible to the naked eye. Yet thousands of these valuable coins potentially remain in circulation today. In 2007, both the Philadelphia and Denver mints were busy producing hundreds of millions of Roosevelt dimes for everyday commerce. However, during production at the Philadelphia facility, a fascinating minting anomaly occurred that collectors now call the spitting eagle variety. On the reverse side of these special dimes, a raised die gouge creates the distinct impression that the eagle is, quite literally, spitting. This prominent die gouge appears as a curved line extending from the eagle's beak, giving the bird a comical appearance, as if it's expelling something from its mouth. The error resulted from damage to the master die used to create the working dies that strike the coins. Once the master die was damaged, this flaw was transferred to working dies and subsequently imprinted on thousands of dimes before being detected. What makes this variety particularly compelling is its visual impact. Unlike some numismatic varieties that require magnification or specialized knowledge to identify, the spitting eagle is immediately apparent even to casual observers. The error creates a narrative quality to the coin. It transforms the stately American eagle into a character with unexpected personality. The U.S. Mint has never released official production figures for these error dimes, which isn't unusual for modern varieties. Numismatic experts estimate that between 5,000 and 20,000 examples may have been produced before the damaged die was removed from service. This uncertainty adds to the coin's mystique and collector appeal. Identifying a genuine spitting eagle dime requires careful examination. The die gouge should appear as a raised, curved line projecting forward from the eagle's beak, extending approximately 2 millimeters. It maintains consistent thickness and has smooth edges, characteristics that distinguish genuine die gouges from post-mint damage. Additionally, authentic specimens will show this feature in precise relief, with the same texture and finish as the rest of the design elements. When this variety first entered circulation, few collectors recognized its significance. However, by late 2008, examples began appearing in coin magazines and online forums, igniting interest throughout the collecting community. Early discoverers who recognized the variety's potential were able to assemble substantial holdings by searching through bank-wrapped rolls before premiums escalated. One Colorado collector reportedly found 37 examples after examining approximately 300 rolls of dimes over 6 months in 2008 to 2009. His persistence yielded a collection now valued at over $15,000, an extraordinary return on a $1,500 investment in face value coins. The market value of these spitting eagle dimes has seen remarkable growth since their discovery. In circulated condition, examples typically sell for $30 to $75, depending on the prominence of the die gouge and overall wear. Uncirculated specimens command significantly higher premiums, with MS 63 examples fetching $125 to $200, while those graded MS 65 or better can bring $300 to $500. The record price for this variety was established in 2018 when a superb gem specimen graded MS 67 Plus by NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, sold for $1,560 at a specialized error coin auction. The coin's exceptional strike quality, combined with the dramatic die gouge, created perfect conditions for a record-setting sale. What's particularly fascinating about the spitting eagle dime is how it illustrates the evolving nature of modern coin collecting. Traditionally, numismatists focused primarily on 19th century issues or pre-1965 silver coins. However, modern varieties like this 2007 error have created entirely new collecting categories, attracting younger enthusiasts and expanding interest in contemporary coinage. The coin also offers insight into modern minting processes. The appearance of such a noticeable error demonstrates that despite advanced quality control measures, including optical scanning systems and multi-point inspections, notable varieties still enter circulation. Each spitting eagle dime represents a moment when these sophisticated systems failed to detect an obvious abnormality. Condition plays a crucial role in determining value for these specimens. Since the error occurs on the reverse, whereon Roosevelt's portrait doesn't directly affect the variety's visibility. However, overall condition impacts market desirability, with pristine examples commanding substantial premiums. Collectors particularly value specimens where the die gouge remains sharp and well-defined, as this feature can become less prominent on heavily circulated examples. Unlike many valuable numismatic items that have been systematically removed from circulation, spitting eagle dimes continue to be found in pocket change and bank rolls. Their relatively recent introduction means many remain in active circulation, offering the genuine possibility of valuable discoveries during routine transactions. One particularly compelling aspect of this variety is its combination of visual appeal and storytelling potential. When displayed in collections, the spitting eagle immediately draws attention and generates conversation, even among non-collectors. This accessibility has made it a favorite for introducing new audiences to the numismatic hobby. Professional dealer Anthony Romano of Philadelphia Rare Coins notes, "The spitting eagle dime perfectly illustrates why modern variety collecting continues to grow. It's visually distinctive, has a memorable name, and exists in sufficient quantities to be attainable while remaining scarce enough to command respect. Plus, there's always the possibility of finding one in your pocket change, which adds an element of treasure hunting that people find irresistible. The variety has also generated fascinating conversations about die production and quality control at the U.S. Mint. Numismatic researchers have studied the progression of the die gouge across different specimens, documenting how the feature evolved as the die experienced wear during the striking process. Early strikes show a sharper, more pronounced spit, while later examples from the same die show a more rounded, polished appearance as the die began to wear. For authentication purposes, experts evaluate not just the presence of the die gouge, but its precise characteristics. Counterfeits occasionally appear, particularly as values have increased, but these typically show tooling marks or inconsistent relief that betrays their illegitimate origins. Reputable third-party grading services have established specific attributions for the variety, providing additional security for collectors making significant investments. Interestingly, the Spitting Eagle has inspired a broader examination of Roosevelt dimes from this period, leading to the discovery of several minor die varieties previously overlooked. While none approach the dramatic visual impact or value of the Spitting Eagle, they demonstrate how a significant discovery can illuminate an entire series for renewed collector interest. For those hoping to find this valuable variety, systematic searching remains the most effective approach. Examining reverse sides of 2007 Philadelphia minted dimes, those without a mint mark, can potentially yield valuable discoveries. The error is substantial enough to be visible without magnification, though a magnifying glass certainly helps with definitive identification. Whether you're an established collector or someone who simply handles change regularly, the 2007 Spitting Eagle dime represents a tangible connection to minting history and a genuine opportunity to discover extraordinary value in everyday currency. Remember to check the eagle on every 2007 dime you encounter. That moment of inspection might reveal a four-figure coin hiding in plain sight. Let's complete our numismatic journey with perhaps the most elusive of our modern dime rarities, the 2003 Roosevelt dime with a remarkable double die reverse. Unlike our previous examples that resulted from mint mark errors or die gouges, this 2003 variety showcases one of the most dramatic double die errors on any modern U.S. coin, creating a fascinating visual effect that commands serious premiums. Double dies occurred during the hub-and-die manufacturing process. When creating the dies used to strike coins, multiple impressions from a hub are needed to fully transfer the design. If slight misalignment occurs between these impressions, certain design elements appear doubled on the finished die, and subsequently on every coin it strikes. This isn't a case of a coin being struck twice, but rather a single strike from a die that contains doubled features. What makes the 2003 double die reverse particularly significant is both its prominence and its location. The doubling appears most dramatically on the torch, olive branch, and E pluribus unum on the reverse side of the coin. Under even modest magnification, you can clearly see separation between the primary and secondary elements, with the flame of the torch showing the most pronounced doubling. The lettering in E pluribus unum displays distinct separation, with each letter appearing to have a shadow. This variety was first discovered in late 2003 by a Florida coin dealer examining a batch of newly minted dimes. He initially thought he might have discovered a counterfeit, but quickly realized he was looking at a major double die variety. After verification by several numismatic experts, news of the discovery spread rapidly through collector publications and online forums, triggering a nationwide search for additional specimens. Unlike some varieties that might have production runs in the tens of thousands, the 2003 double die reverse appears to be significantly rarer. Current estimates suggest perhaps 2,000 to 5,000 examples exist, a tiny fraction of the more than 1.5 billion dimes produced that year. The error likely occurred on a single die used at the Philadelphia Mint, which would have struck somewhere between 50,000 to 100,000 coins before being retired. However, with no official recognition from the U.S. Mint, these numbers remain educated estimates based on observed frequency. The scarcity became apparent during the initial collecting frenzy that followed its discovery. Despite concentrated searching, few examples surfaced in circulation, suggesting either very limited production or that many examples were already removed from circulation before widespread awareness emerged. This rarity has only increased in the decades since, as those specimens that did enter circulation have been steadily extracted by knowledgeable collectors. Identifying an authentic 2003 double die reverse requires careful examination. While the doubling is pronounced enough to be visible with a quality 5x to 10x magnifying glass, distinguishing the genuine variety from similar appearing machine doubling or strike doubling requires experience. The key diagnostic points include consistent doubling on multiple design elements, with clear separation visible on the torch flame, olive branch, and lettering. The doubling maintains consistent directionality across all affected elements, a characteristic feature of genuine hub doubling. The market for these double die dimes has developed remarkably since their discovery. Even moderately circulated examples command $200 to $300, while uncirculated specimens in MS 63 condition typically bring $500 to $800. Premium examples graded MS 65 or better regularly fetch $1,200 to $2,500, with the finest certified specimens commanding even more impressive sums. In 2017, a superb MS 67 example certified by PCGS with full bands designation, indicating exceptional strike quality on the torch bands, established a record when it sold for $7,800 at a specialized error and variety auction. The buyer, a prominent double die collector completing a signature set of modern errors, later reported receiving multiple private offers exceeding $10,000 for the coin, offers he declined. What fascinates numismatists about this variety is how it bridges classical and modern collecting interests. Double dies have long been among the most sought-after varieties in American numismatics, with classics like the 1955 and 1972 double die since achieving legendary status. The 2003 dime demonstrates that even in the modern era of sophisticated minting equipment and quality control, significant double dies can still occur, connecting contemporary issues to this rich collecting tradition. The coin also illustrates the evolution of the discovery process in modern numismatics. While earlier double die varieties were often discovered months or years after release, improved communication through online collector forums and social media accelerated awareness of the 2003 dime. Within weeks of its discovery, collectors nationwide were actively searching circulation, coin dealer inventory, and mint sets for examples, a remarkably rapid response compared to pre-internet discoveries. Condition plays a particularly important role in valuing these double die dimes, because the doubling appears on small design elements, where it can significantly diminish its visibility and impact. Specimens with even moderate circulation or show reduced doubling on the torch flame, the most visually dramatic aspect of the variety. For this reason, uncirculated examples command exceptional premiums, with preservation of mint luster and strike quality being paramount considerations. The variety has generated remarkable stories of discovery and perseverance. One Pennsylvania collector reported examining over 100,000 dimes before finding his first example in 2008, 5 years after the variety's initial discovery. His persistence eventually yielded 3 specimens, one of which graded MS 64 and sold for $650, proving that dedicated searching can still yield results even years after a variety enters circulation. A particularly interesting aspect of this double die is its educational value. The variety has been featured in numismatic educational programs and exhibits precisely because it so clearly demonstrates the mechanics of the double die error. Unlike some varieties where the doubling is subtle or requires specialized knowledge to appreciate, the 2003 dime shows dramatic separation that effectively illustrates the concept even to novice collectors. Professional numismatist James Bucky notes, "The 2003 double die reverse dime has become my go-to example when explaining double die varieties to new collectors. The doubling is immediately apparent even to untrained eyes, and it perfectly demonstrates the hub and die manufacturing process that creates these errors. It's a textbook example in every sense." For authentication purposes, experts recommend comparing suspected examples against verified specimens or high-resolution photographs. The consistent doubling pattern appears as a clear separation rather than the fuzzy or irregular appearance common to machine doubling, a less valuable production anomaly that can sometimes be confused with genuine double dies. Major grading services have established specific attribution references for the variety, providing additional confidence for collectors making significant investments. Interestingly, the 2003 double die has inspired broader interest in modern dime varieties, leading to the discovery of several minor double die varieties from the early 2000s. While none approach the dramatic visual impact or value of the 2003 specimen, they demonstrate how a significant discovery can illuminate an entire series and create new collecting opportunities. So the next time you have a handful of change, take a moment to look more closely at those seemingly ordinary dimes. Check the date, examine the mint mark, and inspect the design elements. You never know, that simple act of curiosity might reveal a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of times its face value. Happy hunting, and until next time, keep checking that change.